The very first question I had was they're having a really tough time selling a property. Should I lower the list price or offer an incentive to sell my home faster? Now, what they're talking about is they're listed on the multiple listing service. And this question was specific to, should I increase the commission to incentivize the buyer agents to get their buyers to write contracts on my property? Now, it can be done, and it is something that people talk about in the back channels of real estate, but is it ethical, right? My issue with this strategy is if agents are telling their buyers or pushing them to offer on properties based on the commissions that they're making, they're breaking the number one rule in real estate. And that is the fiduciary duty that you have to a client is to put their interests above your own. But you're telling them to write an offer on a property because you're getting paid a little bit more. Quite frankly, I don't even really look at the CB on deals when I'm showing properties. The CB is the cooperating brokerage fee. But I am going to backtrack for a second, because when you're putting out your property and you're pricing it, you're marketing it, and you're negotiating it, what you're offering as a CB does unfortunately impact some of the attention that it gets. That's just the nature of it. You offer somebody a 25% cooperating brokerage fee, you're probably going to stand out in the crowd. And if you're looking at commission fees, which are actually illegal to state as being an average of, if you're offering more than, say, the competition in your marketplace, yeah, your inventory might stand out, or all of a sudden it might make it into the showing pile where it didn't before. So incentivizing somebody to sell your home by offering a higher commission fee may get you a little bit more attention, but I promise you dropping the list price is going to give you more, right? Because that's something that unequivocally is going to be understood by all. And if you're having a hard time selling your property, understand that there's three things that directly impact the sale of your property in this order. And that is the price of the property, because even the worst property on the face of the earth priced right is going to sell. Now, if the price is right, bang on for what it should be. The second is going to be the condition of the home. How does the home show? Am I showing up to this correctly priced home and it's in shambles and it smells terrible and it just doesn't equate to a good experience? Well, if you can fix the condition and it's priced correctly, quite likely it'll sell. But if it's priced correctly and it's being marketed correctly, or it's being shown correctly in good condition, the last thing is marketing. Right? Are you getting in front of the right buyers? And that's something we spend a lot of time focusing on in terms of creating custom audiences, making sure we're targeting the right people, making sure that we're everywhere from a print, digital, organic perspective, picking up the phone and calling people, seeing who's active in the marketplace. Here's a fun strategy for you or your agent. If you're having a hard time selling a property, pull a list of any agent that sold a property in that area in the last year and then call them and ask them what's going on. Do they have anybody for this type of property? Get some feedback for them. That's a very simple tactic. It doesn't actually cost you any money. It just takes a little bit of time. But a lot of times people are scared to do the work. So I would say if you're going to look at list price versus an incentive to sell your home faster, I would go with the list price. If you're not getting the activity in this marketplace, especially, it's clearly something wrong, likely with the price or the way that the property is being presented. So I take a look at those three items and break it down. Hopefully that gives you some value.